I'm not going in there thinking, oh, I can't hurt this guy. But I'm not going in there at the same time. I'm trying to knock him out. I'm trying to, you know, fight my fight. And if the knockout is there, then of course I'm going to take it.
And listen, I told my boy Jazz, I already caught the biggest fish in Texas. About to get out here and get it in. I see the water. I know who the #1 fisherman is. Even big fish get caught.
Terence Crawford isn't messing around. He's been training like crazy, getting bigger, stronger, and more aggressive in preparation for his huge fight against Canelo Alvarez on...
We back in the gym. And I got my hair done. Shout out to the braider. My hang time. We've been working all day. All day we've been working, baby. All day.
And if anyone thought he'd just sit back and let Canelo control the build-up to their fight, they were completely wrong. Crawford made that clear when he unexpectedly crashed the Canelo versus William Skull press conference, nearly turning it into an all-out...
We'll get Skull in May and Canelo Crawford in September, because then that adds more interest into the Canelo Crawford fight, because it's Crawford going to challenge the undisputed champ, which gives Canelo more clout for becoming undisputed twice at 68 in this era where there are a bunch of young, hungry lions, and it gives Crawford the ability to become a 3-time undisputed.
But this wasn't just some random outburst. No, this was a statement. Crawford isn't just coming for Canelo, he's coming to prove a point. And he's not the only one sending warnings. Even trainers are speaking up, emphasizing how seriously Crawford is taking this fight. Strength and conditioning coach Rob Aosta is already raising concerns, saying Crawford might be making a huge mistake by bulking up to 180 pounds just by eating instead of properly adjusting his body for the new weight class. He ate his way up to 180. Understand that he didn't train his way there. Aosta said, clearly unimpressed by Crawford's approach.
It's a big jump. You know, to be honest, I don't know who's going to win that fight. I think Canelo has a lot of power up there. I feel like Canelo will win that fight, to be honest. You know, I think he has a lot of skills and power at that weight. I think he's comfortable up there. I think I see Canelo winning that fight, yeah.
But if you think Crawford is second-guessing himself, think again. He's pushing his body to the limit, sparring with bigger opponents, and training harder than ever. He believes his speed, power, and skill will be enough to overcome Canelo's size and experience at 168 pounds. That confidence is exactly why he crashed Canelo's press conference in the first place, to send a message. He's not here for just a payday.
But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy.
Of course, William Skull wasn't happy about the whole situation. The IBF super middleweight champion already feels disrespected. Fans and media are treating his May 3rd fight with Canelo like it doesn't even matter. To him, all this talk about Canelo versus Crawford is an insult. It's very disrespectful since I'm a world...
I want him to be uncomfortable. That's going to be a key for me.
Sin haberle un veredicto el 3 de mayo.
And then, when the time comes, I want to shut everybody up that already has the September fight in mind.
Feels completely overlooked, as if everyone has already assumed Canelo will win and move on to the mega fight with Crawford. And honestly, who can blame him for being frustrated? Even Turki Al-Sheikh, the man behind these massive Saudi Arabian boxing events, is already hyping up Canelo versus Crawford as if Skull doesn't even exist. But let's be honest, does Skull even have a real shot? Sure, he's got the height, the reach, and the hunger, but Canelo is on another level. And if Crawford is already trying to get under Canelo's...
I'm about to be a 2-time undisputed fighter, so that's all about.
You mentioned the Cuban style up there. What other challenges does Skull present to you, though?
Oh, he's a very skillful fighter. He's have a lot of talent, and but you know, I've been in the with all kind of the styles, so I can adapt myself.
But Crawford isn't just up against Canelo in the ring. He's also facing serious doubts outside of it. Many fans believe he's making a huge mistake by skipping the middleweight division entirely and jumping straight to 168. They argue he should have taken a fight at 161st, maybe against someone like JC Canelo, to adjust to the power of bigger fighters. Instead, he's banking.
Canelo fans, please pray for Canelo. He's about to fight William Skull in Saudi. Pray for Canelo, bro. Pray for Canelo, bro.
Bro, but don't you get it? Canelo will never lose because Turkey needs him to win.
Yeah, he's not gonna lose.
There's no way
Hell,
Turkey.
bro.
There's no way Turkey gets his Crawford fight if Canelo loses. So that's not happening.
It's a deeper, darker criminal link. I don't trust it. Pray for Canelo, man.
And let's not ignore the biggest concern. Canelo has taken punches from some of the hardest hitters in boxing. He's fought Gennady Golovkin multiple times, moved up to light heavyweight, and absorbed shots from guys way bigger than Crawford. So, what makes Crawford think he can just walk in and take over? That's why his actions at the press conference were so revealing. That near brawl wasn't just about hyping up the fight. It was pure frustration, anger, and determination boiling over. Crawford knows the odds are against him.
I think a lot of Canelo fans, for some reason, they know that there's no excuse. If he loses to Bud, this is a huge mark on his resume. If he beats Bud, he does beat a very accomplished fighter in this era. But there's no ready-made excuses in this fight for Canelo. Canelo should win this fight. And Canelo hasn't been in the fight that, there's no excuses. As far as a big fight, there's no excuse.
And his team, they're all in. Crawford's camp is filled with people who believe he can shock the world. They're making sure he's in the best shape of his life because they know this isn't just another title fight. This is legacy defining. This fight will either cement Crawford as one of the greatest of all time or prove that he took on more than he could handle. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez is making one thing crystal clear.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
Canelo isn't just focused on their fight in September. He's already throwing mental jabs, setting the tone for what's becoming an intense showdown. One major talking point: Crawford's win over Israel Madrimov. Canelo outright disagrees with the judges, saying Crawford should have lost that fight. For me, I think he lost, Canelo said, doubling down on his belief that Madrimov did enough.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch.
That's not just trash talk, it's a calculated move.
But this isn't just trash talk, it's strategy. Canelo is making sure Crawford understands that moving up in weight doesn't mean instant success. Now,
I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
And that's what many believe the fight might be a bad idea.
Let me tell you what I think should be going. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez.
But even Caleb Plant himself is sure Crawford will stress out Canelo.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. and he can fight.
He's not treating this like just another title defense. He's training as if he has something to prove. While, unlike some of Crawford's past opponents, Canelo isn't fazed by the Bud hype. He's fought and beaten some of the best across multiple divisions, and he's confident that Crawford's skills won't be enough to handle an elite super middleweight. And let's talk about the power difference. Madrimov was able to rough up Crawford, and he's nowhere near as dangerous as Canelo. If Crawford had trouble with a 154-pounder, what happens when he faces Canelo's body shots, counters, and relentless pressure? That's exactly what Canelo plans to exploit, and it's why many believe this fight. What makes this fight even more interesting is how personal it's already getting. Canelo has been through too many wars, silenced too many doubters, and overcome too many challenges to let Crawford shake him. If anything, it's motivating him even more. But Canelo isn't just talking, he's working. His camp is already in full swing, and he's training for this fight with the same intensity he brought to his trilogy with Gennady Golovkin and battles with fighters like Caleb Plant and Jermel Charlo. He knows that beating Crawford won't just add another belt to his collection, it'll settle the debate about who's really the pound-for-pound best. Crawford is out to prove he's the best boxer of this generation, but Canelo is standing in his way, reminding him that being great isn't just about skill, it's about surviving tough battles. And make no mistake, Canelo is ready for war. He's always been a fighter who demands respect, but he's not giving any to Terence Crawford. If there's